that was my kind of ticket around. Most people have airline tickets, but that was my ticket around America, and I was invited to speak to quite a large, about that many business cards, number of hedge funds around America, most of which made money on the way up and on the way down. One guy, he said, he's probably the chief motherfucker of them all, and the calmest. So he gave his presentation to 100 of these hedge fund guys. Most of them had ulcers. In fact, there was a guy lecturing about ulcers just prior to him, and people paid attention to that. Anyway, so this guy was talking, and he was totally calm because he understood that he was competing against a world that doesn't understand. He understood at the highest level of economics. Economics is about understanding other people's misunderstandings. Incredibly confident. He made money on the way up, he made money on the way down. And he knew that he would. He called it harvesting. I like it. Anyway, so he said, oh yeah, Roland, come to my office in, I can't tell you which state, but not New York. Come to my office. How are you going to get here? I said, oh, I've got to take Hitch, but I thought that was better. Oh, just take a bus and a train. Anyway, so he said, no, I'll send a car. Where should I pick you up from? Well, I was sleeping on park benches at that time. So I thought, I knew the address of a hostel, so I said that address. I didn't say the hostel. And I ran to the hostel to get a long night's sleep. It was closed. Oh, God. So I was hunting around. I found this place where if you rolled off the top bunk, you land on the bunk next to you. It was just squalor. I was like, oh, kind of got on actually. Woke up, ran down, broke into the other hostel, ran upstairs, had a shower, realised I didn't have a towel, ran down into the basement, got changed into this shirt and pants, and then ran outside to a limo, Nelson. I went in and I said to the driver, are you wondering why I've just run outside of a used hostel? He said, yes. And I explained the story, and he said, do you know who you're going to see? He said, yeah, that's why he's paying for the ride. Anyway, so we had a chat, and it was marvellous. Super intelligent guy. And then a couple of weeks later, still living on the streets, I had to wake up early and go to have boxing training with the guys. So I've been walking around all Wednesday, slept in and walked all through Brooklyn during the night, doing chin-up competitions with the locals, and and then I had to sleep for about an hour or 2 hours between 5 and 7. Woke up in Central Park, went to boxing training, still wearing the same clothes. Did my boxing thing. I had a second one. And then he invited me to his house, and he said, I don't know what ideas you're going to get. You don't know what ideas you're going to get, but I think they're going to work. How about you tell me what's going to happen, and I'll split the profits? And I said, sure, sounds pretty good. I thought I was the smartest guy in the world until I realized that for him to hire me, he had a higher order level of thinking. Because for me to observe what was going on, I just have to observe. For him to observe that I can observe what's going on, it is another level entirely. A great man, and anyway, so we went long. It was either May or June of 2007. We went long risk, so we went basically virtually 100%. There's a couple of other things on the side, but virtually 100% into Australian dollars. And then I wrote an email on the 27th of the 7th, 07, saying, that's it. The whale's been beached. It doesn't matter what happens. That's all she wrote. That's the end of the bull market. The proviso was that other people in the market might not know that's the end of the market. They might think that the hippie's running down the whale. The whale is the indebtedness and imbalances in the market. The hippies are the Federal Reserve and the Treasury officials. The skin diver is the bear who keeps on thinking that everything's going to go down. And the water is liquidity. So at one point in time, the whale has to support itself. It can't. I knew that was the case as soon as Bear Stearns couldn't maintain its franchise by dipping into its pockets and keeping away one of its hedge funds. That was the beaching of the whale. The response, I thought at the time, would be, and it was vast, and it would fool a lot of the market, which it did. So we didn't go entirely short. What we did was we went long yen. Well, it's a third round pick. But anyway, we went long yen, that's still worth it. So we went long Australian dollars, then the world collapsed. We went long yen until the 14th of December, and that's when inflation arrived. And I knew that the market would be thinking, that's it. This is a battle of carnage, we're surrounded, this is going to be a bloodbath. So we went short financials, short everything leverage, short Centro, short Allco, short Babcock and Brown. I said to some people, I don't know if you hear, I said to some people, buy Babcock and Brown puts like well and truly out of the money at say, you know, $15, $10. These things are selling for like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cents. And they went to zero, so you would have gone from like 6 cents to $15 and $10. Anyway, you would have made some money. And then we went short, we went long energy, and we were long agriculture, which worked. And then in the middle of the year, we went short Fortescue. So anyway, we did pretty well. But the reason we did pretty well is because it's quite easy to understand what's going on if you look at the big picture. People don't look at the big picture. They probably should.